I'm good. How are you?
Okay, well, thanks for coming in to see me, and how can I help you today?
Oh, I I've been. My friends was kind of telling me that I needed to go talk to someone because I'm dealing with some issues of being stressed and depressed at the same time. Just needed to talk to somebody and let somebody just so somebody can listen to me.
So you're ready to face what's going on with you?
I hope so. I hope to get that out of our session for today.
Okay. Well, do you understand why you're stressed or what's going on to cause you stress in your life? That could be ultimately making you depressed.
Okay. Well, let me just kind of let you know what's going on.
Okay.
I've been living here for 10 years.
Here as in
I've been living here in Louisville for 10 years. Never said, and my parents live in Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Okay.
Which is about 45 to an hour from here. Never did. They're fine. They're in their 70s. My dad just turned 74. Mom just turned 73. I have two siblings, two sisters who live there, one younger, one older. All of my immediate family is there. I have no family here in Louisville. But I had said that once, if I had to move back, it would be because my parents needed me.
Okay, is there something that took you from Elizabethtown to Louisville? Is there a reason why you're the only one who lives here in Louisville?
What job? My job.
Oh, okay.
My job is here, and versus commuting back and forth, I just decided to move up here. I commuted back and forth for about 5 years out of the 9 that I worked at Jefferson County Public Schools. So I've been here since '98.
Okay.
However, I just decided 2 weeks ago or a month ago that I was going to move back to my hometown.
And was there a reason why you decided? What ultimately brought you to that reason of going back?
There wasn't a particular reason, but one that I keep thinking of is that my parents are getting older, and for some reason I feel the need to be closer. Although I do have two sisters that live there and family and relatives, I feel the need to be closer versus 45 minutes to an hour. I feel that if my mom or my dad needs something, I feel that I need to be the one there that they can count on or can be available. I just said, that's my purpose of going back. However, my family is really dysfunctional. They're very dysfunctional. My family can be argumentative at times. My dad is I'll call him as a functional drinker, alcoholic, and that causes problems within the family. As my mom gets older, she's more needy. She depends a whole lot on not just me, but on all of me and my siblings, my sisters, for little bitty stuff that doesn't really amount to anything. And at times it can be kind of frustrating because she just calls and asks to do stuff for nothing, just to get attention, I believe, a lot of times. So that's the kind of thing that kind of depresses me going back, is because I know that I'm gonna lose a lot of my privacy. Because my family, they just don't respect privacy. They feel that because I'm single, no children, no significant other, then I'm just always can be available, and that's not always true.
Well, what I'd like for you to do is consider this choice that you're going to make. Have you ever just sat back and considered not going for yourself, to find meaning for yourself? Have you ever considered that you should stay here where you're happy at, or where you have your privacy in your own being and focus on your meaning of your life?
Well, see, that's just the thing. That's what's bothering me. It's because a part of me wants to be there.
Mhm.
You know, I do love my mom and my dad. So a part of me wants to be there. And another part of me wants to be there because I'm missing out on my nephew's sports. They're involved in everything. You know, my family does a lot. They may be dysfunctional, but they're very active. My nephews are in every sport there is. You know, I have a niece that just got her first head coaching job at the high school she teaches at. So I want to be a part of those things and be there for them and support them. And it's hard for me to do that being here an hour away. Even though I can go and come back in the same day, it's just a little bit more exhausting. It'd be more better for me if I'm there. However, by me being there, I just know that I'm going to lose a whole lot of my independence because of my family just rely on me for a whole lot. And that's the part that kind of depresses me, and I just don't know what to do.
Well, I wonder, while you're here in Louisville, do you ever face issues of aloneness?
Pretty much. Only time I really see people is when I go to work, when I go to school. I do have a best friend that I do stay in contact with. He doesn't come over, but we do talk a lot on the phone and text each other a lot. But outside of that, my life is just really busy. It's just very busy. I have very little room for social life.
Okay. Do you find any meaning in your life here in Louisville?
Not really.
And do you think going to a little town will give you meaning for your
Oh,
life?
absolutely, because I'll be around the ones that I love constantly. And I enjoy that. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy that. I do enjoy that. I just feel that once I actually am there, that a lot of my me time is going to be invaded. And I'm so used to being in my own space, and to have lots of people to invade that is kind of stressful and depressing to me. So I just, I don't want to hurt my family or hurt their feelings by saying, oh, don't come over today, or I don't want y'all to be at my home. That I welcome them into my home. I don't want to send that message, but at the same time, I want them to be aware of being respectful and knowing that, okay, Michael's day is long, we won't bother him today. Or, my sisters, one of my sisters have young children, and my niece has a child. I don't want them to feel that every time they need a babysitter that I'm available, because it's just me. And I'm afraid that that's what's going to always happen. I don't want that every time I open up my door, my mother's going to be standing on my porch. I don't want that all day, every day.
Because you still want your freedom.
That's absolutely, but the thing that I'm struggling with is I don't know how to, I don't know how to tell them that without sending a message or hurting their feelings, because that's not the intent. It's just that I want them to be respectful of me and my privacy and my space, and not invade it.
Right. So you need some help on how to figure out how to, if you decide to make the move, how to tell your family that, look, I need my space, I need my time, or if you stay here dealing with your aloneness and your struggles of not having the closeness with your family that you so desire.
Mm-hmm.
So have you, so the relationship you have with your family, you guys are pretty open book. And you guys are really loud with each other and tell each other how you feel and everything.
Very close-knit family, very close-knit. We share everything, we tell everything, we love each other. That's not the issue. The love is not the issue. It's just that they just take for granted that, hey, we're going over to Michael's tonight and we're going to camp out there and watch TV, eat food.
Yeah, because
he's not doing anything versus, let's call first to see if it's okay that we come over versus just showing up. That's just how they do it, and that kind of, it gets on my nerves a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how to be able to set boundaries and not be, and not send the message of me being ugly or being the bitch of the family. I just want to be, you know,
Because
respectful.
every action
Right.
affects those around you.
Absolutely.
Like every little thing you do may cause a wedge into you guys' relationship, you
Mhm.
think?
And I don't want to hurt feelings, but I just want to set boundaries. When I get home from work, give me a couple of hours to myself, then come over.
Yeah.
You know, don't just assume that if it's a party tonight that I'm going to babysit. Even if I have nothing to do, just don't assume that I'm going to be the one to babysit your kids because I'm available.
And you want to
That's-
create healthy boundaries
Absolutely.
to be able to feel comfortable enough to say no, and the person on the other line doesn't get upset with you.
Because I say no. Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, let's try to focus on finding a way to resolve this, and try to focus on finding a way to find meaning and make the choices that you make are the right choices for you. And how about you think about your aloneness here in Louisville, and if you really do want to go there, and if you're used to being in the situation that you are in, if it will change so dramatically that you'll be ready to come back. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about what would happen if you did up and leave your space,
Here in Louisville,
yeah.
I've thought about that, and and I'm struggling with that. Do I really want to make this move, or do I want to stay here and miss out on the things that I want to be a part of?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm struggling with. So, the moving part, I'm okay with, because I don't do anything here anyway but work and go to school. There's very little that I do here. I don't take the opportunity or to do things here in the city like most people do. I just don't. I'm okay with moving back home. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is my family taking advantage of me once I get there.
Okay.
That's what I'm struggling with. Not to, and I know at some degree they may not do it purposely, but it happens.
Okay, well, I'd like to see you a couple more times, and maybe we can come up with a good, healthy way of you letting your family know before you do make that move. You let your family know about your choices and on what you describe as meaning for you in your life. So what I want you to do is, when you go home today, try to, or for the next week, try to focus in on things that will make you uncomfortable. Just write them down, no matter how big or how small. And then when you come back, we'll go over your list of things that make you uncomfortable, and you can narrow down 3 or 4 that you will feel comfortable enough telling a couple of family members who you know will violate your space.
Okay.
Does that sound okay for you to do?
I can do that.
And I'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.